Hello guys, so today we're gonna talk about makeup for dramatic classic type women. If that all doesn't make sense to you, you probably didn't check my body type series, so I'm gonna link it down below. First, let's remember how dramatic classics normally look. It is the overall combination of the balance between yin and yang extremes with a slight yang leaning, slightly angular physicality with a coolly sophisticated essence. Normally height is moderate, bone structure is symmetrical with slightly angular edges, straight and slightly wide, shoulders are tapered or slightly square, usually narrow. Body type normally is fairly trim and compact, slightly muscular, bust line, waist and hips are somewhat straight and in even proportion, on occasion slightly short-waisted. Legs and arms tend to be average or slightly long. Their body type will seem to radically change when they gain even a little weight. This is actually an illusion because their bone structure remains the same. They have slightly sharp, angular or squarish facial contours. Jawline, nose, cheekbones. If we talk about features, usually moderate to large eyes, moderate lips. So my foundation and my powder is on. Now with the help of contouring powder, I have to transform my childish features into something closer to dramatic classic facial features. So first, I'm making my face more narrow by applying the contouring powder on the sides of my face. And you as a dramatic classic don't have to do that. Of course, under my jawline and on my neck, to make my bottom part more dramatic, more coming forward and longer. Then I'm contouring my nose. I'm making it just slightly thinner, but I like the sharpness of it. It fits. So when you as a dramatic classic are contouring your face, you can use darker shades. You can apply them under your cheekbones in an angular manner. Of course, it should be blended pretty well so it would not be dark stripes on the sides of your face. But in general, sharper contouring looks good on you. Just repeat your natural features with that. I have to lighten my chin a little bit to make my bottom part more adult looking, more dramatic looking. You don't have to do that as well. Okay, so my contouring is done. You can see how my face became slightly more grown up, chiseled and sharper. As for my brows, I'm gonna go for darker shade. They should be very trim. They should not be thin or super thick. They should be done in a classic manner, slightly lifting the face up on the sides. The brows is something that is framing your face. They're very important for your overall look, even when you don't have any makeup. Dramatic classics normally look their best with matte colors. However, when we talk about skin, it is always nice to add some highlighter on the cheekbones or at some places that you want. Not over glitter the face, but just give it some glow. I'm also applying some blush. It is optional though. You can do it or not do it. Without blush, you also will look amazing. Clean face looks gorgeous on them. It's just sometimes when you have that no makeup look, it's just good to have some color on the face. And if you want some color on the face, you can just focus on the brows and blush. I'm gonna go for slightly heavier lashes. So first I'm using that lash primer. While it's drying, I'm gonna apply some lip pencil. And even though we're now making kind of that daytime makeup, I'm still choosing that dusty Bordeaux color just to show you as an example. Just try that. Because if you make your skin good, let's say with foundation or BB cream, it looks gorgeous on dramatic classics. It will never make your face look heavy, even during the daytime. As you know, I never use lipstick. I'm always making my lips with pencils. You can go for the lipstick, especially if it's matte lipstick. Now I'm gonna apply some mascara. I'm gonna make my lashes slightly thicker, but still separate from each other. I don't wanna have very clumpy spider lashes, but at the same time I don't want to have too little mascara. I'm gonna apply them on both, on the top lashes and on the bottom lashes as well, and I start making them from the roots. It's important that lashes root situation should be dark, defined. It will look very beautiful in them. So kind of that everyday makeup is done. Okay, so before I continue my makeup, let's just see some famous dramatic classics makeup examples. Now let's look at the 60s example first. Jacqueline Kennedy. It's funny, when I looked at her pictures, I hardly could find pictures where she had any heavy makeup. She almost always had that kind of 60s pink pearl lipstick or slightly brighter pink. She obviously had dark brows naturally, but I could hardly find something more in the eyes than just a mascara. I could see that she took care of her skin very much. And also she cared more for the overall style of her clothing, accessories, and hairstyle. She really became a style icon of that time. And I don't know about you guys, but for some reason when I pictured her in my head before I found all those pictures, I imagined her having much brighter makeup. And looking at these pictures now, I understand why. Because dramatic classics have very certain bone structure. It is balanced, but slightly to the young side. It has that certain definition, and also her coloration is pretty dark. She's very contrasted. Her brows, her hair were dark naturally. Her eyes were very contrasted. Her whites of the eyes were very white. So all that gives us the idea of that already structured face. So as in these pictures, you can see she barely has any makeup, or she has some very slight shimmery makeup. But it's the silhouette of Jacqueline Kennedy. This is what we used to see the most. This is what we remember. Let's look on makeup of Diana Kruger. So as you can see again, she has very sharp but very balanced features. Same words we can use while discussing makeup for dramatic classics. Clean face, good brows, something not smudged but pretty precise. Even if it's very minimalistic eye makeup, you just apply some red lipstick and you're good to go. Clean look in this case, and crisp look is not the same as the amount of makeup. It's the application key and it's the silhouette itself. It's a combination of the elements, I would say. So as here we can see thick lashes, pretty heavily applied. They look good with that. They can handle that. Her lipstick is very gentle here. Her blush is very gentle, but her eyes are made very precise and sharp. That has given them a lot of chic. They look great with different smoky eyes. Smoky eyes should be done with matte, dark colors preferably. It should be blended, but not super blended. And it should be done very neat. They look amazing with darkening their waterline. That looks very sexy on them. And you can see that perfect balance here. Everything else is nude except for the eyes. They look great with both slightly smudged eyeliner or very sharply done. So is here in those two pictures. You can see how on this black and white picture her bone structure got really defined. See how light is drawing the faces. So the thinner the shadow looks under the cheekbones, the sharper the bone structure is. If their makeup is too pastel-y, has a lot of shimmer, washed out colors, very gentle or blended super well, sometimes that can make them look slightly older or more tired. So basically there are just two extremes that don't look as good on them. It's very pastel-y, very blended, very shimmery makeup, like on the left picture. And on the right picture we see another extreme for dramatic classics. Too colorful and intense face. So here we can see everything. Some reddish smoky eye, along with very defined lash line, along with reddish blush, along with red lips. So all that can give classics, any classics, not only dramatic classics, slightly clownish effect. They look great with bright makeup, but it should be bright to a certain degree. Let's look at Olivia Palermo. Here we can see almost no makeup look, right? Very daytime, very light, gentle, minimalistic. But the way it's done is the most important thing, and also the colors. The colors are very natural. We don't see greens, blues. Those colors are universal. They are matte, and the whole look is pretty sharp. So the application is the key. Everything is done pretty sharp and very neat. And that's what gives her that fresh look. Nothing is overly blended. All the shapes are defined to a certain degree, and it's just enough of it. Again, black waterline. They look amazing with that. It's never too heavy on them, despite of their coloration. And again, as I said, matte colors look amazingly fresh on them. Much better than shimmery colors all over. Look at how dark matte lipstick looks amazing with the daylight in this case. And again, as far as she's fashionista, she likes experimenting a lot with her makeup as well. But in some cases, it can look slightly not as sophisticated as it could look if that would be done with more universal colors. Here we can see that retro, colorful makeup slightly pin up, and for dramatic classics, sometimes that can look cartoonish. Let's say if she was a gamine, nobody would even notice that she has makeup. Yeah, red lips, eyes, okay, but it would not jump to the eyes as much. Now let's compare these two pictures. I put them together on purpose. On the left we can see very modest smoky eye. Clean face, gentle color on the lips, pretty intense smoky eye but very well, very neatly done. On the right we can see slightly over the top colorful makeup with super emphasis on the eyes, on the lips, slightly on the cheeks, and on the eyes it looks slightly smudged, and also the lashes look very clumpy. So on the right picture she looks slightly overly colored. If she cleaned her eyes a little bit, for example, if on the right picture she had her eyes made same as on the left picture, that would look amazing even with that dark lipstick. On these two pictures, I also wanted to compare them a little bit. So on the left we can see a lot of blending, a lot of smudging. The shape kind of becomes slightly undefinite, especially with those colors that are not close to her own coloration. Some blues and brighter blues, very smudged. And on the right picture we can see kind of same blue color, slightly dustier, not as blended, and made much more in a classic manner. Zoe Saldana. Again, bright lips, defined brows, almost no makeup on the eyes, but as far as it's done clean, neat, the lash line is black, that looks very chic on them. Again, that classic look, bright red lips and the eyeliner. In her case, this is slightly smudged, that looks amazing on them. That's her smoky eye, and I think that looks just gorgeous when she picks that color on her smoky eye. Pale lips, pale cheeks, and very defined eyes. Slightly blended, slightly sharp shape on the eyes, and matte colors again. Look amazing. Let's continue the makeup. Now we're going closer to the type of makeup number 2, old Hollywood makeup or just classic makeup. I'm gonna be doing the line with my black eyeshadow. You can use whatever you have. The line is good when it's very thin or slightly thicker. It's best when it's very rich color but slightly blended. You can also go for a sharp one if you want. The shape doesn't matter that much. You can whether elongate your eye, like I showed you in my previous video about soft dramatic makeup, or you can make it shorter. Just make sure that your pupil is right in the center of this line. This way you'll make your classic look even more balanced. It will be very beautiful. This is just that simple rule. If you elongate your eyeliner on the outer corners, make sure you elongate it on the inner corner as well. Symmetry is the key to your look. It's in everything. It's in clothes, in your hair, and makeup as well. Now I'm adding some crease color. I'm choosing that matte color because matte colors, matte eyeshadows look amazing on them, much better than the shimmery ones. I'm not gonna overload my lower lid. For some reason I think that for dramatic classics, we don't have to overload that bottom lid. That under eye area should remain clean. Of course I'm gonna add some color in there. And again, I get slightly heavier but still very much daytime makeup. Now I'm taking that dark Bordeaux wine color, almost even eggplant color. I'm gonna apply it on my lips instead of red lipstick. Of course you can go for red lipstick, but in my every video of this series, I'm just making that flick and red lip look, kind of that old Hollywood, but this time I decided for dramatic classics, we do that dark Bordeaux lip. Matte, dusty, and very deep color. It doesn't matter what coloration you have, just try that. Just this color looks gorgeous on them. It never overloads their look. So these Bordeaux lips are great for the evening. You can actually go even darker. For some reason I thought it would be darker for the camera. Now the waterline. As far as we go to a heavier makeup now, we're going closer to smoky eyes, so I'm gonna now darken my waterline. These ladies look amazingly sophisticated with that. Even if your eyes are very small and tiny, forget about it. Beauty is not about sizes. Now I'm gonna make that smoky eye. I'm gonna use that dark Bordeaux color that is very close to my lip color. And that's on purpose, to create that uniform look. You can skip this step and you can choose whatever color you like. The best thing that it will be contrasted, deep and sophisticated, slightly dusty. Not as many of those clear and childish colors like bright blue, bright green. Try to use something more modest. It will look very chic on you. I'm applying it all over my lid up to that crease color and I'm slightly blending it on the crease and a little bit up. Don't blend too much. Blend a little bit. The shape should be definite. It should look defined. Now I'm gonna blend the crease with this slightly lighter color, just to marry them both together. Alright, that's the final look. Maybe you can share with us in the comments what works for you, what doesn't. Because as far as I'm showing everything on myself, it is always to a certain degree. I can't change my body, my features, so it still can't be 100% realistic. If you like my videos and you want to support me, you can subscribe to my Patreon. I'll be very happy to see you there. I answer some questions there. Also, you can subscribe on my music channel if you're interested in some classic rock, some older music. I'm trying to get 100,000 subscribers there soon. Also, you can check my Pinterest. I have 13 words about body types for your inspiration. And also welcome to my Instagram. I post just random stuff in there from my both YouTube channels, from my life and in general. Once again, thank you so much for watching, for your likes, for subscribing on my channel and continuing the series. I will see you in several days.